You do not want to know how difficult it was to get this chair down here. I don't care if this looks like shit. This is the setup now. Welcome back to Brainstorm Pictures. For those of you who watched the first video, hi, welcome back. For those of you who didn't, it's right here. Go watch it, please. I seriously do suggest you go watch that first video before you watch this one. If you don't, I don't even want to imagine how confused you're going to be. Hi, I'm still Enzo, this is still Brainstorm Pictures, and I'm still talking about Fearsome Freaks. If you don't know what Fearsome Freaks is, I told you, go watch that first video. But if you really want me to summarize it, I'm working on my own independent animated series. Here it is. I haven't nailed the whole camera thing yet. This is the logo. For now. It's not permanent. Maybe it's permanent. This is not the last video. Last video was 20 minutes long. This one's probably going to be longer, which is insane to say, considering this is my second video, literally ever. But, if you're not sitting, I am. Sit down, grab a snack, get comfy. I don't know how long this is going to be. Originally, this was going to be 2 videos. This was going to be the antagonist video, and this was going to be the side character video. But I just decided to put them together, because what's the point in making 2, you know? Also, a lot of the side characters are kind of antagonists, and a lot of the antagonists are soon-to-be side characters. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, slideshow. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Please go check out the slideshow. It's in the community tab. Please. It explains it so much better than I ever could. So, with all of that out of the way, let's finally talk about the fearsome friends and foes of Fearsome Freaks. Also, I have a light. Give me a second. Ah, there it is. I don't know if this looks better, or if this looks better. Ow. Tell me what you think. Anyway, Fristolbaums. How am I supposed to explain the Fristolbaums in like 5 minutes? Okay, I think I got it. So, on top of being cover-up agents, the Fearsome Freaks are also performing in the Fristolbaum Freak Show. This is not willing, they do not want to, but they kind of have to, because the Fristolbaums kind of basically own them. Like, they don't own them, but there are these whole contracts that they're made to sign, and that's just like a lort. That's a lort. If you want to see that as a lort, let me know. If you don't know what lorts are, go check my shorts. That sounded weird. Obviously, as you'd expect, the Fristolbaum Freak Show is run by the Fristolbaums, Frederick and Freddy, or Frederick the Second. He goes by Freddy. I'm gonna call him Freddy. Don't get on my case. Freddy, how do I explain? Let's start with Frederick. Frederick is a lot of things. I guess the simplest way I could put it, Frederick is an asshole. Frederick Fristolbaum was a rich child growing up in the Gilded Age, which is basically when a bunch of rich people could just do whatever the fuck they wanted and nobody could do anything about it. So, he's a little bit entitled. When he was young, Frederick Fristolbaum was a huge fan of Hugh Jackman. Oh wait, I mean P.T. Barnum. No, the real one. There we go. This made him want to start his own circus, but he also didn't. Frederick didn't want to have a circus, per se. Frederick's favorite part of Barnum's shows was his usage of circus freaks. People with deformities, or, you know, messed up looking animal carcasses, or just lies. Just straight up lies. He didn't care. When he thought of a circus, he really just wanted that stuff. And so that's what he did. I'm not going to dive into his backstory, like, extensively, because I want that to be saved for the actual show, probably, at some point. Or maybe a lore... I don't know, man. Subscribe. For now, all I'll say is that he did some very unfavorable things to get to where he is. Just like most rich people. He's not the main antagonist of Chronicle One. Neither of the Fristolbaums are the main antagonists of Chronicle One. But they are pretty big antagonists in the show as a whole. For a multitude of reasons. Namely because they are... very, very, very bad. A lot of ists. Lot of ists. Honestly, Freddy might be more screwed up. At least, like, in the head. He's definitely more screwed up in the head than his father. His father is sadistic, but he's way more put together. Freddy is not. Freddy, since he was a child, has been the son of Frederick Fristolbaum. And that would f anybody up. His father doesn't really see him as a son. He more so sees Freddy as a tool that he can use to further himself. Mainly... Freddy is really just like... I wouldn't call him a serial killer, because he's not. What I would say is that he'd probably be friends with a bunch of serial killers. Like, I can see him and Ted Bundy getting along. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say is that both of the Fristolbaums are very, very bad people. It's hard for me to explain that without you guys actually seeing it, which is why most of this is going to have to wait until, like, either, like, a Lort or maybe even the pilot. I don't know, but, I mean, they're pretty bad. Again, go look at the slideshow. This could explain them a lot better than I ever could. With that, let's move on to Cover-Up. I haven't dived too deeply into Cover-Up, and that's on purpose. Cover-Up is a secret shadow government. Clarity is not one of their strong suits. There are so many things that I don't even know about Cover-Up at this point. And I made the thing. Essentially, they are a group of secret agents who are tasked with protecting the natural world from the unnatural world. And it's Elionics. Really just the Elionics. They hate the Elionics. This video, I don't think I'm going to talk that much about Cover-Up. That honestly deserves its own video entirely. I'm just going to focus on the main players within Cover-Up in Chronicle One. And that's really just Calypso. Coverer Calypso is the overseer of Cover-Up. She is the leader. I'd say she's the president, but that isn't really how the coverers work. Essentially, she's the queen of Cover-Up. Coverers serve for life. They don't have a term limit. So when Calypso was sworn in, she was sworn in. Like, until she dies. And she knows it. She was a former Cover-Up agent, promoted to Coverer, which is pretty normal. And she is ridiculously loyal to her organization. She's reckless, yes, and she pushes her organization's boundaries to a fault. But she is deeply loyal to the cause. For most of the Freaks' missions, Calypso's kind of like their guy in the chair. The whole idea for the Fearsome Freaks was her idea, and so she's kind of directly responsible for them. She doesn't play that big of a role in Chronicle One, apart from, running Cover-Up and introducing that world to us and the Freaks. Later, she plays a bigger role, but for right now, she's kind of just the guy in the chair. The only two other Cover-Up agents that are in any way important to the plot in Chronicle One are Agents Nausithis and Agent Nausinus. And they're essentially just Calypso's bodyguards. That's really it. Occasionally you see him in the back, just fooling around, I guess. But, that's it. They're really not that deep. At least right now. Who knows? They could have a whole arc in Chronicle 2. But for Chronicle 1, they're just the bodyguards. Also, that was a joke. They probably won't have an arc in Chronicle 2. Sorry to anybody who are fans of these two characters that don't exist yet. All in all, Cover-Up is the catalyst for Chronicle 1. The organization itself isn't that plot relevant, but it will be. Oh god, it will be. Finally, we're getting into the individual characters again. Thank God, because I think I'm a lot better at explaining them than the groups of people. Let's talk about the Coyotress. The Coyotress is a one-off villainess who appears, I guess not a one-off, because she appears more than once in Chronicle 1. I think she appears 3 times, at least for the outline right now for the season. She appears 3 times. But it's relevant, because she's actually pretty important, all things considered. Her name is C.O.V.E.R.U.P, or C.O.V.E.R.U.P, or C.O.V.E.R.U.P. I just call her Cena. I could be wrong. I'll get into that later. She's a trickster, through and through. Literally being raised by maybe the most infamous trickster in all of Native American mythology. It is Cena's job to protect the Elionics that Native peoples hold dear to them. For example, in the episode she's introduced, she's literally protecting the Wampus Cat, which if you don't know what the Wampus Cat is, I'll probably touch on it in the Elionics video, which I plan to do. Subscribe. Essentially, it's a big mountain lion with 6 legs. And that's really dumbing it down. The creature comes from Cherokee folklore, so of course the Cherokee people hold it dear to them. And so Cena also holds it dear to her, which is why it really pisses her off that Cover-Up keeps trying to put it in a cage. Essentially, she is a champion of the oppressed, Robin Hood kind of figure. More than anything, though, she is chaotic as all hell, which makes her a perfect match for a certain member of the Freaks. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm really excited to develop Cena more, and I already have a lot of ideas for her in my head, but I'm definitely gonna need a lot of help with her, and really all of the Native American stuff in this show, because I don't know if you could tell, but I'm white as so if by any chance any of you watching are Indigenous, or if you know people who are Indigenous, or if by some miracle you are an expert on Native American mythology, please help me. Animatronic is a one-off villain. Basically, Animatronic is a robot that Cover-Up once captured for their own reasons. We don't really know the reasons behind why they want Animatronic so badly, but they do. They really do. I don't know how much more I want to give away about Animatronic. I'm probably going to put a lot of it in the slideshow. It does form a kind of kinship with Craig. I'm not going to explain why or how. You assholes can figure that out for yourselves. We're moving on. Nain Rouge, baby. Nain motherfucking Rouge. For those of you who don't know what Nain Rouge or the Nain Rouge is, essentially he is a little red goblin thing found in Detroit, Michigan. His name literally means red dwarf, I think. Editor, thank you. Nain is initially an antagonist for the Freaks, but in the first episode he appears in, the Freaks kind of have to reluctantly work with him because there's another threat in Detroit that is much bigger than him. Nain is essentially just a grumpy old Frenchman. And like Frenchman. Like thick accent and everything. I love him so much. But as for that much larger threat in Detroit, let's talk about the Lycanthropes. America has a surprising amount of werewolves. Like, can we talk about this? There's the Beast of Bray Road, there's the Rougarou, there's the Dwayyo, and, of course, there is the Michigan Dogman. The Michigan Dogman, from what I could find, is the oldest of these. And I decided to do something with that. I don't know how much of the Lycanthropes are going to be explored in Chronicle One. Probably not that much, but, I mean, I can kind of get into them. Essentially, the Lycanthropes are a group of werewolves, but they're like permanent werewolves. They don't transform under the light of the full moon. No, they're just werewolves, like all the time. If that sounds terrifying, they also have a cult. I could elaborate further, but I don't think I have to. Let's talk about the V.G.A. So, how do I put this in a way that YouTube won't kill me for? The V.G.A. are very proud Germans in 1939. Oh, hi Elon, what are you doing here? They are led by a man who goes by Der Anhänger, or the follower. Yikes. I honestly don't know how much I should even go into the V.G.A. There's so much. I could really make another video about just the V.G.A. And if you guys want to see that, I mean, I guess I will. It'll be hard, but I guess I will. I wouldn't feel good about myself if I didn't have people punching Nazis in the face in my show in the year of our Lord 2025. I don't know why. That just doesn't really feel good to me. For no reason whatsoever. I don't even really know why I have the Jersey Devil here. I mean, it's just the Jersey Devil, you know? Like, there's not much to it. I really should have just saved it for the Elionic video. I mean, it has no importance. It's just, why did I put this in the script? I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I haven't even really figured out Cleanse yet. I mean, I know the gist of who I want him to be, but not much more than that. I have routes that I know I would want to take with his character, but I don't know which one I'm going to take. Cleanse is a bounty hunter for Elionics. That's really the best way I could put it. He's a very good shot. He's really cool. I'm definitely really excited to dive more into Cleanse and to figure out just who he is and like what his deal is, because he is easily objectively one of the coolest characters I've ever come up with. And I want to know more about him. Subscribe. Harvey's Oddities are probably just a bunch of one-off antagonists. It's the classic, like, here are the heroes, but reversed. Everybody does it, but this one's kind of fun. So near the end of Chronicle One, the Fearsome Freaks go up against Harvey's Oddities in this circus competition thing. And the Oddities are pretty much just the Freaks, but bad. It's funny because Harvey Twisto himself is the inverse of Frederick Fristolbaum, and the Freaks are all cool with him. His own Oddities, his own wife, treats him like shit, like, all the time. Also, if the name Harvey Twisto rang a bell to you, wow. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Basically, what I wanted to do with the Oddities was take characters from public domain, or now public domain, comic books, and kind of integrate them into the Fearsome Freaks. So, like, Harvey Twisto, or the Snail, is the Auditeer, the counterpart to Frederick Fristlebaum. The Black Cat, Linda Turner, is a counterpart to Rosie. The Airman, Drake Stevens, is the counterpart to Ray. You know, like, all these things. Originally, they were going to have some ties to Cover-Up or something, but I decided to go this different route. One, because, like, I didn't want them to be that important and take away from, like, the original characters of the show, you know? And two, because I think they just work better as just one-off antagonists. Maybe they'll show up again in a later chronicle. I don't know. I don't care. Let's move on. So, remember earlier when I said, I'm white as f***? Yeah. That hasn't changed. These are the main villains for Fearsome Freaks Chronicle 1. The Pukwudgies. Or the Pukwudgies. I don't know how to pronounce it. They're from Wampanoag folklore. I built this whole lore around the Pukwudgies. I built this whole, history around the Pukwudgies. Honestly, I'm probably gonna make a video just about the Pukwudgies at some point, which I know I've said so many times, but, like, I don't know what to say. Guys, I don't have a script. I have bullet points. What do you want me to do? There are other Pukwudgies who play a relatively large role in the show, but the primary Pukwudgie and the primary villain for Chronicle 1 of Fearsome Freaks is Exanos Temokatem. He is the Emcha. He is the Emcha. That's Emchsa. I said it as best as I could. He is the leader of the Pukwudgies. There are other Pukwudgies in the show, as I said. They also have names. I cannot remember them right now. I'm sorry. Go look at the slideshow, please. They have a whole backstory that's relatively important to the entirety of, not just season 1, but the show as a whole. And I don't want to say it right now because I think that would spoil most of the show. So, I guess, yeah. They live in the underground city of Anoba, beneath, somewhere. I don't know. Editor, thank you. They've basically been in hiding from the natural world until now, where they're finally about to strike and retake what's theirs. If you want to know more about what that means, subscribe. Anyway, that's it. I don't really know how long this ended up being. This kind of flew by. If you guys have any questions at all, whatsoever, about any of these people, or about anything about the show in general, like, at all, please tell me either on Twitter or Blue Sky or in the comments or email or whatever. Please, I'm begging. If you want to learn more about Fearsome Freaks, bam! I finally got the camera right. First video, go watch it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Links in the description and in the channel bio. More videos are coming. Expect another long form video in another month. Maybe sooner than that. I don't know. Thank you for watching. I gotta go edit this stuff now. Bye-bye.